So we're going to go ahead. It's 2:33. We are delighted that we have this many people here. Actually, it's very exciting. Congratulate yourselves. This is the first California One Regional Institute in Santa Clara County. As many of you know, we also we'll have an institute in Monterey County in November, in San Benito County in January, and Santa Cruz County in March. Seems so far away, but it'll be here before you know it. So thank you again for everybody attending, and we are recording this, so it will be available. It's always one of my favorite activities is to be recorded. So I'm Kathy Wall. Just want to meet you all, and you're here today for the California One Institute. There we go. And we always like to have a safety announcement when we're in our building. So if you're listening to this on recording, you don't have to listen to it. But if there is an event of an emergency, then please notify me if you require assistance, people here, and follow us down. We'll all stay together, and we appreciate your cooperation in this, and hopefully we won't have to worry about this. But it is Safety Awareness Month, so who knows? It could happen today. We want to make sure everyone knows what the Santa Clara County Office of Education is. It's a state regional service agency that provides instructional, business, and technology services to our 31 districts. We're part of CSESA 5, so that's why we're partnering with San Benito County. Hollister is in the house, and Santa Clara County. We've got Morgan Hill here, and we have Monterey County Office of Ed, and we also have Santa Cruz County Office of Ed. So not only do we provide support and services for districts, but we also provide some direct support. So thank you for being here. This is our superintendent, Dr. Marianne DeWan, and the County Board of Education. They are big proponents of equity, diversity, inclusion, and partnership. We'd just like to acknowledge them. And today we thought we'd go around the room and get to know who's here. And those of you that are listening to this recording, we're sorry, it'll be painful, but we're going to go ahead and do it. My name is Kathy Wall. I'm the director of the Inclusion Collaborative at Santa Clara County Office of Education. And what do I look forward to in this project is to connecting all the dots and getting people to work together to be able to enhance and support their equity activities that they already have going on. So that's me. Who else would like to share? Christine, since you're on the phone, we're going to have you go first. Look at you guys.
Well, can you see me at all?
No, we can't. Is that okay?
Well, that's good because I'm eating.
Okay.
No, that's okay. I'm Christine White. I'm a principal on special assignment in the Hollister School District. I started with this project because I was a grant writer and ended up receiving the SIP grant last year as well as MTSS, and just kind of became involved in inclusionary practices in my district. So what do I look forward to? I just continue to strive to make sure that we're not all silos in our district, and it's very difficult to move away from that. So that's what I'm hoping to get.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And thank you for being online. Who else would like to go? Okay, we're going to go on this side of the room. Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen Larson. I'm a lead academic technology specialist here at the county office. I'm in the educational technology services team. And what I'm looking forward to is, I think it hints on what Christine just mentioned. That's, you know, this opportunity to actually work with other teams here in the county office and throughout the entire region. We are content writers for this program and also on the planning team, and having this opportunity to work with other teams here in the office and throughout the region has been invaluable to us. So we look forward to moving forward with this project.
It's actually been invaluable to us to have Karen on the project, if you must know.
Oh, thank you.
And Abby too.
Just so my thing.
Go, Abby.
Sorry, well, because it's so true.
My name is Abby Almerito. I'm an academic technology specialist with the Education Technology Services team at the county office. I have so enjoyed the opportunity to collaborate across departments here within the office. And I also look forward to seeing the fruits of our labor and really making some headway with providing not only access, but achieving real success for all students in our county and beyond.
Thank you, Abby. And we couldn't have done it without Abby either, I might add. Anna Marie, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Anna Marie Villalobos, and I am the Director of Special Education Projects here. And I'm also an equity advisor for the CPIP grant. And what I'm looking forward to, I think this is a really nice, fresh approach to addressing a lot of the equity issues that have that are built in within the educational system. And I like the fact that the training piece, the way that it's rolling out, and the platform, I think is, I'm hoping, and that it's going to have a significant impact and change instructional practices within the classroom so that we can have equitable practices. So that's really what I'm looking for, an equitable outcomes. Thank
you very much. We couldn't do it without Anna Marie either, by the way. All right, Dawn.
Oh, I'm next. Okay, Dawn Reimer. I'm the coordinator of state and federal programs here at the county office. Part of the work that I do is with LCAP and differentiated assistance and FPM, and so I'm excited to help districts find these materials and these systems to help them work through things that they work on within their own system. So I'm excited to be a part of it. And Barb had a scheduling conflict with her team.
Well, it's recorded, so you can watch it for the rest of your life.
Excellent.
It's perfect.
Excellent.
And we are really happy to have you, Dawn, on the team because you are linked to multiple districts. Plus, Dawn was the one who told us that the data dashboard pies are going to be gasoline tanks. So I'm just still reeling from that. But,
I have some other changes.
so, ooh, maybe we shouldn't be recorded then. Who knows how I'll respond. All right, Michael.
I think I'm the only one from my district in this room. Luckily, I was in the area. Well, in the Santa Clara district. But luckily, I was in the area, and I thought I could be here in person. I'm Mike Vogel, Director of Special Education. I'm excited to be here. Looking forward to seeing what some of my colleagues are doing in the area, and you know, gaining insight from them all.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Michael.
Thank you.
This is like the second week I've seen you
Yeah.
because I saw you last Monday.
I'm all over the place.
You're becoming a frequent flyer here. That's exciting. So thank you. Sun Park, you want to come closer?
Yes.
Come on. Glad you got the shirt on. You're advertising.
Yes. Hi, I'm Sun Park, and I'm wearing an Inclusionaires Unite shirt for all of us to hopefully volunteer and be part of things. And these wonderful shirts, so you can buy and support the cause too. Many different ways to go about it. I am an inclusion training specialist with the Inclusion Collaborative, and I am on the project team and the management team. So thank you.
Actually, Sung is pretty much the brain of all of this. So thank you, Sung, for making it all happen. All right. So thank you, everybody. That was nice to get to know who's here. And I'm sure that I know there's at least one other gal who's going to be coming in later. So we'll just introduce her when she comes. Come on. Okay, so our outcomes for today is to learn more about the CPIP program and some background information, to get some California One updates, to review the California One tiers, and then we're going to spend some time looking at that Vision One course, overview and support. And then we've got some upcoming equity activity opportunities that you can participate in. And then we'll talk about what our next steps are and if we have any action items. So we're delighted you're all here. And again, some of you may have been to the orientation, but we figured it's probably a good idea to talk about CPIP. The more we talk about it, the more we know. It's amazing. So these are the core goals of California One, is to make sure we have the comparable high academic achievement and other positive outcomes for all students on all indicators. Make sure we have equitable access to educational services and inclusion for all students, and then to ensure equitable treatment for all students. It was really exciting. I was down in San Diego County Office of Ed. They had their equity conference last week. I actually got to meet the Assemblywoman who made this legislation, and she's going to be coming to our conference. San Diego County Office of Ed and Santa Clara County Office of Ed were the two CPIP grantee recipients. So it was so cool to see it all tied together. We always like to start with the timeline just so folks know. And Sung actually does a better job of it, but I want to save his voice for when we really need him. Right, Sung? Okay. So the timeline, we like to start out with in 2011 is when the blueprint for great schools came out. Tom Torlickson was there working on it, and here he is still in office. So I think it's just amazing how he's really tied together quite a few things for our state. He also, well, he didn't, but the LCFF and the LCAP in 2013 came around, and I know you all know what that is. Again, it's looking at cradle to career and one system again, one connected system with resources and supports. So if you listen carefully, there's this theme of one system that we need to really be paying attention to. In 2013, the CCEE, California Collaboration for Educational Excellence, received funding and is another organization agency that provides support for one system. In 2015 is when the California Statewide Task Force on Special Education came out with their report on one system, reforming education to serve all students. And again, it really emphasized looking at one system for all students. And that was in 2015. In July 2015, the Blueprint for Great Schools 2.0 came out. Again, Tom Torlickson. And he entitled it The California Way. So some of you who know about the California One, you'll see the connection there. Thank you, Sung Park, for that. So the California Way was designed by through the CDE to provide one system to support great schools. And then there was the ESSA, Every Student Succeeds Act in 2015 that came around, looking again at coordinating and have more systemic looks at what we're doing to support. Every district has to do a SSIP plan. And again, it talks about having one system, linking it with your LCSF and your LCAP. So again, it's an effort to institute that single coherent public education system to support all students. And we all know this California SUNS initiative came into play in 2016. April, 30 million was earmarked for multi-tiered systems of support, and many of our California One districts are in their third year. I know the folks in this room have been part of MTSS, and that looks at having one system again. And you'll notice that there's actually an inclusive policy and practice. And they also look at the whole child as being the framework. And then in 2017, the birth of our California School Dashboard came around. We had spring data first. This is just an example of Alum Rocks, and it looks at specific different state indicators, chronic absenteeism, state, you can read that there. And what they really noticed, the equity, we call this our equity dashboard, is looking at the different student groups, and you can see the red pies, which will soon be red gas tanks, right?
It'll be just one gauge with 5
A gauge with different colors, okay.
And the arrow will point whatever
It is.
that blue.
So we will have to work on our graphics here, but we've got thoughts already. So thank you, Dawn, for letting us know. Little anticipatory guidance. The bottom line is, in November when the pies came out, well, actually last year when the pies came out, the blue meant they're doing great, the red not so much, and if you're colorblind, you could see you have less piece of pie there, but that will change. And what was really useful is for people to be able to go and look at the student groups here and really see the disproportionality. So in December of 2017, the Differentiated Assistance Protocols was established by CSESA, and the facilitation guide is pictured here, and we have folks in this room have been part of it. All of our County Office of Ed have been supporting districts who were going through differentiated assistance, and that's something that we really made sure was connected within our California One. We didn't want people to have to redo, we wanted to enhance and support what you've already done. So we really took a look at what was going on with the facilitation guide. And the California One was adopted for Santa Clara County Office of Ed, Highway to Success. And you can see how we're going to have to go from red to orange to yellow to green to blue. We'd like to be a blue state. That's our goal in life. This is the definition of equity that our equity coalition has approved. Santa Clara County Office of Ed is promoting equity, diversity, inclusion, and partnership. And so the definition that we came up, our working definition of equity is access to quality education and resources through universally designed, inclusive, unbiased instruction, transparent and accountable for the success of all youth. And that's our goal in life. So the lead agencies, which Santa Clara County Office of Ed is one, and San Diego County Office is another, is to make sure we develop new resources and activities, make sure we have information out on effective equity practices, develop and provide trainings, conferences, and workshops, and then work with our partnering LEAs. So we're delighted you're here today. Thank you for being at our first regional institute. And these are our partners. In case you haven't seen this before, we have quite a few on our Equity Coalition, universities, senators, a lot of community groups, the Northern California Diagnostic Center, First Five, the Chime Institute, CAST, which is the Center for Applied Science and Technologies, and then we have a total of 4 county office of eds that we're partnering with and 9 school districts. So we're delighted you're here. Thank you for attending today. So California One, Success for All, comes in 3 tiers. We just want to review that with folks. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, by the way, because I'm doing a lot of talking. We are envisioning having a California One unlimited online system that the whole state of California can use down the road. At this point, it's a 2-year pilot project, but we are busy developing online modules. They're quality assured by CAST. They will be stackable micro-credentials. We'll have 2 tracks, a teacher in-class track and an administrator coaching track. And there'll be readings, core competencies. It is a competency-based model of completing these courses. So if you've already had some information and knowledge about a certain course, then you can submit what you've done already, and then you can be done with that course. Ideally, they shouldn't take more than 3 hours worth of time. Tier 2 is more face-to-face. This is a face-to-face, by the way. This is a Tier 2 intervention because we are face-to-face, right, Christine?
Absolutely.
There she is. Okay. So we have face-to-face more extended. We have our annual conferences coming up in less than 4 weeks, and everyone that's participating in Tier 2 can send up to 3 people to it. We have our regional CPIP institutes, which are out right now. We have a monthly online PLC that will be looking at data and getting trends and seeing how we can do iterations of making improvements. And then we'll be looking at LCAP and SIPSA and program policy review. Tier 3 will start next year. We have we will be designing equity audits for up to 4 LEAs that participate in Tier 1 and 2. And so we're excited about that. We've got 4 equity experts, 1 in the room. Woo! And we are excited about this possibility. We want to make sure everyone knows that California One is aligned with LCAP to make sure that we've got parent involvement, student achievement, student engagement, looking at their climate, have access, look at outcomes, looking at expelled youth, basic services, and state standards. So we are using an improvement science model, and that will be in our, specifically in our equity audit process that we're doing. Tier 1 has vision and commitment as its first critical feature, which we'll be spending some time on today. We really want to enhance and support what you've already done. So if you've done some assessments already or root cause analysis, then we can just plug that in, and Sung will be going over that later. We would like to have at least 3 people from each LEA do this. And we have to do vision and commitment first because that's the first one. It opens the doors. Each module then has approximately 3 hours of work. And then we're hoping to have additional courses added on so you can have CEU eligibility down the road. So it's a plane that we are building, but we're proud of it. Tier 1 modules then, we have the vision modules, number 1. Critical feature 2 is building collaborative teams. We have one course already ready to go. It'll be launched. All of these courses this year, the 7 of them will be launched on our learning design platform at our conference on August 24th with CAST in attendance to assist us. Building collaborative teams was done by our ed tech group, Karen Larson, thank you very much. And from there we can add additional collaborative team courses. The Universal Design for Learning is the first of the critical feature 3, and we are actually using our CAST credential system. They are going to be including their Universal Design for Learning associate credential as the first one, and people will be able to get credentialed in UDL from CAST, and then we'll be adding those as we progress and they progress throughout this year and next year. We have a supporting English learners, we have supporting students with disabilities, we have a school-wide positive behavior support, and we have culturally responsive anti-bias teaching. Thank you, Abby, for doing that one. Next year, we're going to be working on critical feature 4 and 5, which will be the database decision-making using academic data and behavioral data. And then we'll be looking at critical feature 5, will be planning for school LEA-wide implementation and improvement. So the wonderful thing about Tier 1 modules is that they can be added onto, and that is our real dream, is that we're adding onto this so that there's more and more resources available for folks. And so the educator and administrator coaching tracks will be available for each module. These will be stackable micro-credentials and digital badging. And these are the badges of what they look like. Vision 1 is the first one. Building collaborative teams is the second one. And then you can see critical feature 3 has UDL, supporting English learners, supporting positive behavior, supporting students with disabilities, and culturally responsive anti-bias teaching. The really cool thing is that we can add on to these. So we're very excited about that possibility. And we think that'll be really a great way to enhance teacher learning. In February, our learning design team will be building out our platform so that we'll have coaching capability within the online site, which is hard to even think about, but it's a great, I think, potential tool for us to be utilizing. These are our activities for Tier 2, and you can see that we've had an orientation already. We've got our Regional Institute today, and then we have our conference, and we've got our Monterey, and our San Benito, and our Santa Cruz dates there. And then we will be having California 1 Institutes. We're going to have a co-teaching for equity December 5th with San Jose State providing that. And we have a California 1 Institute in February 8th, culturally sustaining teaching equity in action. One of our equity experts will be sponsoring, supporting that one. And then in April, we will be having equitable practices for English learners, April 11th, and that'll be San Jose State in partnership with our multilingual and humanities team. Got to add that. We just changed names here, trying to keep up with it. And it's also Multilingual Learning Month. So it's very exciting. It'll all be an event all year long. These are our monthly PLCs. So October 18th, we'll have our first one. They will be recorded. We're going to be recording them and then keeping them on our learning design platform. So every month, those are the dates there. We want to have at least one California 1 LEA team member participate in that each month. And we want to make sure everyone knows about the conference that's here. It's October, it's happening, and we will have a lot of equity, California 1 CPIP equity tracks available. Dr. Shirley Weber, who I met last week from San Diego, has stated that she'll be attending, so she can hear the Black Leadership Kitchen Cabinet report that they have just come up with. So it's pretty exciting. We're getting a lot of attention here. Tier 3 activities then will be using implementation and improvement science. We'll have 4 LEAs who will get an equity audit and receive acknowledgement for that. And then in May 2020, we'll have our showcase. We will turn in our report and hopefully get more funding to continue this wonderful work. And this is where our California 1 website is, on our Inclusion Collaborative website. And we will be having our learning design platform links will be available here. And this is the CDE has their own platform also, which will be linking to San Diego and Santa Clara counties website. So we're all becoming connected. It's awesome. So Vision 1. Does anyone have any questions about what we just did? Because some of you have heard it before, and you'll hear it again. But it's really good. The more I feel that even I talk about it, the better, to kind of get an idea of how this works. Does anyone have any questions about it? Michael, have you heard this before? Kind of. Okay. Okay. Good. Well, the PowerPoint will be part of the Zoom link. Yes, we can send that to you. All right. So, Sung, are you ready? Okay. Remember, save your voice. I also didn't get the link saved in here.
Well, I can have it.
Okay.
So,
So Sung is going to take over for me now. Thank you, Sung.
so Vision 1 is our beginning course, and I say beginning course in that it sets the stage so that everybody has the same foundational pieces of the why. Why are we going through all this? I mean, why is there a need? I mean, I'm in the classroom. I know my class and so forth, but why for a big picture? So the essential question for Vision 1, the course, is how is our work promoting equity and aligning with California's vision of one system for all students? And we make an inquiry into our practices here, but even before we do that, it's an introduction. It's almost a marketing for California's one system for all and the California way. And as all of us in this room go out and speak with various teachers and LEAs and sites, it's amazing how many are not aware of California's vision of the California way and one system for all students, and that this will mean a changing of some of the things that we do. And that's part of all the processes that have come before, as we showed on the timeline. And we're not just throwing random things out there, it's part of the blueprint for great schools. So within this course, LEAs or school teams will identify their strengths and weaknesses to reaffirm areas of focus and strengthen their system of equitably supporting all students. Learners will review, identify, and commit to California One enhancement and support activities to align their work towards California's vision of one system for all students. Once again, we highly emphasize this is enhancement and support of what you're already doing, the great work that teams are already part of, and hopefully this will fill in some of the gaps, some of the pieces, and really give some meaning to our work in why are some of the things that we're doing, what are some of these processes that we're going through. So really, it's meant to be a, you can go as brief or really dig deep into it as much as we'd like, and it's designed to be about roughly 3 hours, and if you were to do it one time through, I mean, you can end there, but at the same time, there's a lot of true inquiry that we can go into, and this will be part of what we'll be doing in our monthly online PLC to do cycles of inquiries and see, you know, what are some of these practices that we're doing and what are some of the good works that we can highlight, and let's see what happens with the students, and let's see what's how they're linked, and let's see how we're going to measure that, and you know, do that whole cycle of inquiry. And that's really exciting. We can go as deep as we want from this information, or take a step back and just provide a foundational level of information depending on how teams want to address it. So it introduces the California way and the one system for all students vision. And then teams go through and look at their data, looking at the dashboard across the last 2 years or the last 2 terms, and look at what are our strengths and weaknesses for which groups. And then, having seen that, we try to dig deeper and see, well, why is that happening? You know, what are some contextual factors that we're recognizing there, and how can, seeing those contextual factors, what can we do to address that? And wow, there's a California One enhancement and support activities that we are part of, and let's you know, start using some of that so that we understand that California One really help us in our work, because we'd love to have all these modules out and be able to support the general educator, special educator, any educator out there, and administrators and coaches and everybody to equitably provide the needed supports for our students. So let's go ahead and let's dive in and look at Vision 1. So I'm going to come out of the PowerPoint and we'll go into a web browser, in this case Chrome, but you don't necessarily have to use Chrome in accessing this. And here it is. For those of you who have sent in your contact information for those who will be taking this Vision 1 course, they have already received their invites into this course. Otherwise, the URL is seccoe.instructure.com/courses/611.
Is it possible to have Julie introduce herself?
Yes. Hi, Julie. Hello, Julie. Julie, thank you for joining us. We'd love for you to introduce yourself so that we can hopefully hear from you. Oh, okay. Well, I'll ask again in a couple minutes. Hopefully we can get the audio working there for Julie. So here I am on the main page of Vision 1. And this is where we start. We start with the essential question for the course and what the LEA and school teams will be doing. And it really is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing too hard. Just, hopefully it won't seem like it's difficult to get into. We really want to focus on the user experience and making it seem accessible, seem very doable, make for an environment where when you look at it, it looks like, hey, this is very well doable. It's not going to be so complicated, although it is very good, meaningful information. So there is the teacher in the classroom strand and an administrator coach supporting the teacher in the classroom strand too, and that badge is differentiated with an admin coach badge. And if you look at the Building Collaborative Teams badge, it has a ring around the team, and that's the same ring here, and then an arrow, a blue arrow up, so that it indicates
Maybe switch screens. Christine, are you able to see it?
I see the PowerPoint, but I'm not seeing what he's talking about.
Oh,
okay, sorry.
I think you have to open it and then maybe stop sharing and then share again. You share.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and come back to the main home screen here. And this is the main home screen once again. And here is the URL to it if you have not received a invite. seccoe.instructure.com/courses/611. And once again, personal invites have gone out for those who have provided contact information and have agreed for this Vision 1 initial course. And here we are. We have the badge and our essential question: how's our work promoting equity and aligning with California's vision of one system for all students? And the blurb I read before, that we were going to look at strengths and weaknesses, contextual factors, and then see how we can use California 1 enhancement and support activities to align our work. And there's a getting started so that people may orient themselves to it. And if they'd like, they can hear the
Getting started in Vision 1, implementation requirements.
And you can have the audio enhancement of the text to voice recording there. And we're going to be adding many more multiple means of representation in all our courses. But here is the teacher strand for the teachers in the classroom, the badge for that. And then once again, we do have a separate administrator and coach strand. And that, having done administrator coaching activities to support the teachers in the classroom in implementing Vision 1, you'll be awarded a micro-credential represented by this digital badge with an administrator coach add-on at the bottom here. And the symbology behind that is that the ring here is the same ring around the collaborative team badge. So it really means, you know, what are we doing as an administrator, as a coach, to support our team to then rise up with this blue arrow, and that blue is the same shade of the blue in the dashboard. So there, and then the course progression, 1, 2, 3, 4, we move from a learning theory to then exploring in more detail, to then gaining some competency and understanding everything, and then we finally implement it. And then we are done, and it's gonna be congratulations, and we have graphical streamers and so forth to be awarded the credential. And for discussions, there are a lot of discussion posts depending on the activity. And we want to encourage users to use a modality that they're comfortable with, and nothing, it doesn't even have to be fancy. So we are, you may even record an audio or record video straight from this Canvas course as your discussion thread. And for the assignments, if you are an administrator coach, you will be clicking on that portion. And if you're a classroom teacher or resource staff within the classroom, then you'll be clicking on that heading under each of the assignments for the different pages. And going into home right now, we'll see that we did getting started, so that's great. Now let's go into learning theory. And once again, you're welcome to have it be read out. It's up to the user, but we do have that capability, and we are going to be adding more enhancements along the way. So the essential question for this specific module is, how does California's vision of one system for all students give direction to our work with all students? And then here, it's just a short content piece with the very essentials taken out of the Blueprint for Great Schools and the one system statewide special education task force report. The most relevant pieces where it talks about that the state is moving towards one system of general educators and special educators working together and not being siloed. And underneath for resources, there are the Blueprint and the One System report to, if one would like to get more information. And if we click on that, then here it comes up, for instance, for the task force report. But coming back to here, after getting that essential information in mind that we're moving towards one system, there is a discussion of how familiar were you? You know, how, if we compare one system or the California way to your LEA's vision, you know, what are some patterns, similarities, differences that one immediately sees? Are we going to have to do things differently maybe, or are things going to stay the same? And what's the evidence for that? And does it really clarify a direction for you, the school, the team, the LEA, in terms of our improvement work? So hopefully we can have some good discussions there. And by having a forum of educators and administrators and various staff working together and sharing, we can really highlight some good pieces that can help everyone in terms of what this vision will mean as we transition closer to it in the coming years. So that is the learning theory, and having now understood the learning theory that, hey, we're moving towards the California way, the California one system for all. Now let's really explore. Let's start digging into that and seeing what that means for us. So the essential question for that is, what are some of our strengths and weaknesses for equitably meeting the needs of all students? So we're just going to do a first initial observation phase where we just look at data and we just highlight some patterns we see. We're not here to make a judgment or anything like that. We're just looking at the data. We're just becoming aware of it so that we all understand the need for this. Because it's one thing to understand the vision, it's one thing to read about it, but when we look at the data for our school, for our students, for our LEA, I mean, it becomes more meaningful and it really can highlight some of the why of what we're doing here. So with that, if you are an administrator coach, it will be a submittal of the LEA self-assessment or the SWIFT Fidelity Integrity Assessment, SWIFT being the guidance from the SWIFT Center for Multi-Tier System of Support. And I want to highlight that note, you may submit ones that have already been completed through differentiated assistance. These are the same protocols that the differentiated assistance facilitation guide recommends for the differentiated assistance process. So if you've already done this as an administrator, then please, you're welcome to submit the ones already done to guide our thinking, to guide our discussion here, because we don't want this to be one more thing you have to do, another burden on you. I mean, we really just want to support and help and provide more tools in the toolkit to equitably meeting our student needs. And then as a classroom teacher, as a school-based team with the administrator, we can do our own fidelity integrity assessment of some multi-tier systems of support best practices to then have a team discussion around, or we'll go and do the dashboard analysis summary protocol. So you have two choices there. And if we are to do the dashboard analysis LCAP summary protocol, the instructions are here where we go to the dashboard and we look at our specific data, whether it's the school or the LEA, and we just make some observations. What are the strongest areas in terms of the subgroups and content areas or behavior areas or any of the state indicators? What are some of the greatest need areas? And if you look at the growth metric, which half the dashboard is, then which one has been accounting for the greatest growth? And are there any other patterns that we need to be aware of looking at the data, just from an observation point? Again, we're not making any judgments or anything like that. And again, this could be something that we can really, really dig deep into as a team, or just do a run through to explore and gain a little bit more information than having started before. So hopefully there can be much flexibility there. And now moving towards the competency, it will be what contextual factors are contributing to our identified strengths and weaknesses. So in the previous module, we as a team hopefully will have looked at the data and just come up with some observations of what's happening. Now this is where we really try to gain a deeper understanding and try to think and hopefully collaborate with many others in bringing together a process of what's going on here, why is this happening, and what are some drivers maybe that are potential barriers for us or things that we must develop. So there's a little bit of content there with the essential information for contextual factors, but the meat of the work is in this assignment here. For the administrator coach, it will be empathy interviews, the 5 Whys protocol, or the fishbone diagram protocol. And once again, these are straight from the Differentiated Assistance Facilitation Guide. It's not anything new. And as for the classroom teachers or staff within the classroom, they may answer some of the empathy interview questions with you as an administrator and submit it. And the same thing for the 5 Whys protocol or the fishbone diagram protocol, working together as a team with the administrator and the classroom teachers so that we can understand a little bit more of what are some of these contextual factors from our viewpoints here. And if you are to go through the empathy interviews, here are some of the selected questions that are available for discussion as a team. You know, what is your role? What are your primary programs that you're responsible for working on? Just what's one way that you supported the improvement of teaching and learning at your site? You know, what did you do for that? How many people were involved? What was the results of it? You know, in terms of student outcomes, what were some challenges? What were the pain points? And what are some lessons learned? And hopefully this can be a start of some really good dialogue and bring together a group of other teams working on this same inquiry process. Hopefully we can really shine the light on some positive indicators that we'll see as patterns, and we really want to just disseminate that out and identify that. So that's really exciting to see there. So that will be the competency piece of our Vision 1. And then finally, bullseye is implementation. We're doing it. We're going to do it. So if we click on implementation, this introduces the California 1 activities. The essential question for this module being, how does California 1 enhancement and support activities improve our work in equitably meeting the needs of all students within one system for all students? So now, understanding the vision of California Way and one system, having looked at the data to identify strengths and weaknesses, and then hopefully done some inquiry into contextual factors, now we look at California 1 activities and see, oh, wow, yeah, this does work. And this is something that I'm interested in. And maybe I want to be involved in this activity or this tier and so forth. So it sets the stage for California 1 and why we're doing California 1. So California 1 is built on these main feature points. General education and special education work together seamlessly as one coherent system. Site-based teams monitor progress, identify interventions, adapt instructional practices and behavior supports to promote success for all students using evidence-based systems. Educational programs are organized within the context of a multi-tiered system of supports framework to ensure academic and behavioral supports. Instructional programs incorporate high-quality, standards-aligned, evidence-based practices and use principles of universal design for learning. Programs are culturally and linguistically responsive, and data systems are integrated to combine relevant information from state and local assessments. And from there, we can see how each of the activities within the tiers support that within our features. And there you can also see the tier 2 activities that will be upcoming for deeper dives face-to-face. And there is some information on our tier 3 equity audit too. So for the assignment from the administrator part would be going through a California 1 action plan and committing a team or individuals to go through these activities within our pilot period. And I'm just going to give a quick preview of it. So here is our action plan, which we'll be calling a roadmap to go along with our California One Highway to the California Way, Success for All Students theme there. And we just fill in our information, and we just cycle through and we commit teams or individuals to each of the tiered activities. So just for our purposes here, I'm signing Kathy up. Many there, and next. And okay, so here are our tier 1 activities with a description of what they do. So I understand that Vision 1 will continue to be available to my LEA. Yes, congratulations for being in Vision 1. So you're already in there, so no need to sign up. But I understand, it's going to continue to be available so that everybody can get on the same page. And then this is where we're going to commit to, commit to take collaborative teams, or will not take collaborative teams. Again, understanding our strengths and weaknesses and contextual factors, hopefully that'll guide our decision-making process in road mapping out the next 2 years of what we'd like to commit teams or individuals to. So we'll choose, and of course, I'm going to do it. That sounds awesome. And then they may list the individuals here. You're not bound by the individuals that you list here. I mean, that can change, and there's a process for that, so that's not a problem there.
So I have a quick question, Son.
Yes?
What if we decide later on we want to take it after we choose not to take it?
Well, good news is, if, let's say, you choose to not commit right now in the action plan, but later on you decide, wow, that is a need and we want to do it, the good news is you may be back on and you may gain access to it. It's not going to be a problem. So it is not a closed, shut door at that point. We really want this to be accessible. We really want this to be in use. So please, please, even down the road, if there's some opening to get more people involved in this, please commit to it. And
is the roadmap available only in Vision course?
It can be available in other ones. Right now, it's just within the Vision 1. But that's a good question that we need to consider for letting everyone know for what they're committed to. Mm-hmm. And here, I really want to emphasize that UDL, for our micro-credential for UDL, it is from CAST. Again, CAST is the originator and the leader of Universal Design for Learning, and they are rolling out their official credentialing program for Universal Design for Learning. And the first one is the UDL Associate, which is built right into our program. And each LEA gets 10 individuals to go through the process and potentially earn their UDL Associate credential with all the fees waived. And if you've ever worked with CAST in the past, you know that they charge a good bit sometimes, but this is built into our program. So please, we definitely want the 10 UDL Associates per grantee LEAs used and awarded as a start, and we'll see how that goes. But I just really want to emphasize that that's available. Please, please, please think about who would benefit most from getting that first associate credential from CAST. So yes, we're going to definitely commit to that, and then we can add in some individuals here. And once again, you're not tied to these individuals. This is just a start for our roadmap, and so forth. And you will be committing to all the tiered activities, basically, depending on the roadmap that you're going to be creating for yourself. So that is the implementation from the administrator and coach standpoint. And then for the educators in the classroom, they're going to now review the California One enhancement and support activities and see, what are they committing to, And how do they feel in terms of the alignment with their identified needs of the previous modules, the previous activities that they did? And what do they expect to change in terms of student outcomes and practices? And, you know, what are some challenges that they may foresee? And what do we really need to see happening in classrooms and schools as a result of our good work in providing equitable support for all our students? And once we do that, we will then have completed our checklist of activities, and you will get the graphic of streamers and congratulations, and we'll be awarded either the admin coach micro credential digital badge for Vision 1 or the general educator in classroom Vision 1 micro credential. So I know that's a lot of information, but hopefully we see why we start with this Vision 1 to, again, just get everybody on the same foundational page on what we're trying to do here, and to realize, hey, it really isn't going to be something else. This is something that will help everyone.
Anyone have any questions about that? Thank you very much, son.
Okay.
Can everyone see? Christine, are you seeing the shared slideshow?
Yes.
Oh, good. I always am glad when that works. Thank you very much, Sung, for walking us through. How does that feel for you that have never seen it before? Anyone? All right, if you're too shy and you don't want to talk to us online in a recording, I understand, because I am really not having an easy time with this. Please feel free to reach out to us and connect with us. We're going to go ahead and move forward on our agenda. We just want to make sure everyone's aware of upcoming equity activities that are available for you. Tomorrow in Monterey, there's an LCAP equity training, which I would love to bring something similar up here, but I have not had a chance yet to do, so I want to make sure people know about that. CDE has a Title I conference October 9th through 11th in Los Angeles. We will be presenting on a panel with San Diego County Office of Ed and CDE at that point on that day, October 10th. A really wonderful event is happening, California Data Day, October 15th at Santa Clara County Office of Ed, and the Weebly link is right there for signing up. Is there anyone in the room who wants to say anything about California Data Day in the room?
Absolutely.
There you go, Karen. Come on over.
The California One Student Data Day is an opportunity for administrators, teacher leaders, counselors, business folks who want to find more information on how to use data to drive change in their schools. We will have representatives from CDE, and from some of the districts in the county that access Data Zone and use Data Zone to make some really substantial changes in their school districts. And they'll be here telling their stories and the approaches that they use to using data to drive change. We'll also have opportunities to meet some really interesting speakers who are going to come and talk about the general importance of using data to drive change, both in general and in attendance, impacts attendance. And we're going to have books to give away to those who attend. Our keynote speaker, Victoria Burkhart, one of her books will be going to everybody who registers.
Wow.
So early bird just expired, so unfortunately early bird is no longer available, but we do welcome anybody who's interested in how to use data to sign up in that weekly. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Karen. And then we want to make sure that all of our LEAs are signed up for the Inclusion Collaborative State Conference that is here before you know it, October 24th, 25th, 26th. 3 individuals from each district will be have the registration paid for. Out of county people even get hotel and lodging. Oh, Miles, it's exciting. So please sign up for that as soon as possible because we do have registration closing October 10th, which is here before you know it. Next steps. I thought I'd ask from the community, what are your next steps that you think you need to do in the California One project? Does anyone have any thoughts?
Sign up for the conference.
Okay. Thank you, Karen. So sign up for the conference.
I was going to check on the people who should have gotten their emails already.
Mm-hmm. Did they sign up?
And make sure that they signed up. Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to write in this, but it won't let, oh, maybe. Okay, never mind. Someone take notes, right? So sign up for the conference. I encourage everyone to be looking at the Vision 1 first course. And again, we're going to be launching it on our Learning Design link that will be our California initiative on the CAS site. And that will be at the conference, October 24th. What other next steps do we have? Sign up for the California Data Day. It's a really great opportunity for us. Anything else? Title, are you going, Don? Good. Anything else?
First PLC.
October 18th is around the corner. We'll be sending out a reminder for everybody to link on. And then action items of what you think you need to do next. I know I need to try to figure out how to write this on the computer, but it's recording, so you know that's always exciting. I think I have to go into any other action items. I guess we had next up is our action items. Okay, moving forward. Thank you everybody for attending and listening today. And if you have questions, who are you going to call?
You.
Thank you. Or Sung. Email us. We would love to support you. Okay? All right.
Okay. Thank
We're
you.
done. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Julie, did we ever find out who you are?
Stop sharing for a sec.
Oh, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. She's been muted. I'm pretty sure Julie is from. This Michelle is, yeah. She can hear us. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Christine. Bye, Michelle.
Bye.
Bye, Julie.